If I'm easy work, I heard him say I'm easy work. If I was easy work, well, you would take all that money that he's offering you. But yet and still, he want 200 million for Benavidez, and he want 150 million to fight me. So that just lets me know right there that I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to him. I'm a threat to his legacy.
Terence Crawford, who is renowned for his meticulous preparation and dedication, recently shared his thoughts on the recently released training footage of boxing legend Canelo Alvarez Crawford. His reactions to Canelo's intense training routines sparked excitement and anticipation among boxing fans for a possible future bout between the two champions.
Yeah.
On the weekend of Mexican Independence Day in September 2025, Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford will square off in the eagerly awaited super middleweight title fight. Canelo will defend his WBC UBA and WBO titles against Crawford, who is making a big jump from welterweight to 168 lbs.
He went on the ring with Teddy Atlas.
What's that mean?
He said you're the most overrated Mexican champion in history. He said that Salvador Sanchez.
Boxeador mexicano.
Más
Popular, pero sin causa. Sí.
Fucking crazy that guy. and you think he knows boxing? Fuck.
In the May, I've read somewhere that Canelo has shortlisted Crawford for the May fight, his fight in May. Dan, what's happening?
Yeah, listen, I think it's just a fluid situation. I don't think there's anything definitive one way or the other at this point. I mean, it's not a secret that that's a fight that's been discussed by a lot of us and by a lot of people in the sport for quite a while. Certainly, it's a fight that Turki Al-Sheikh from Saudi Arabia has shown a lot of interest in. And of course, if it's going to get made, someone's going to have to put up a lot of guaranteed money. And he's probably the person that's going to do it. He's obviously been working closely with Terence Crawford. He was involved with Terence Crawford's last fight that took place in August when he fought Israel Madrimov. It's obviously a fight that Terence Crawford has been very vocal about wanting. Now, Canelo hasn't ever said he wanted the fight, kind of downplayed it to a certain degree. But it wasn't that long ago. I don't know, maybe a couple of months ago, he was doing an appearance and he was asked about it and he didn't close the door on it. In the past, he sort of like closed the door on it and was like, I'm not interested. He's like, listen, I'll talk to anybody and listen to what they have to say about the deal, any kind of deal. So in my mind, that sort of at least cracked open the door to have the conversation.
Fans are giddy with anticipation as this clash of styles and skills promises to be one of the biggest boxing events of the year. Canelo Alvarez, who is renowned for his power and tactical versatility, is regarded as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world. Crawford, a four-division world champion, brings speed, precision, and adaptability to the ring.
Terence Crawford said that he moved up and won, and Canelo moved up and lost.
They talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won.
I don't think that was a strong point because Canelo Alvarez actually moved up and won. I mean, he moved up a lot of weight classes, but if you want to talk about light heavyweight, he moved up and he beat Crawford. Then he moved up again and he lost to Bivol. Terence Crawford, on the other hand, he moves up to 154. He won 115, 113, but it was just an 11.
Alvarez has a 6'2", career record and is a formidable force in the super middleweight class. Canelo has demonstrated that he can do well in heavier weight classes, and his strength, agility, and experience make him a formidable foe.
On you. He throws 30 punches around. You're not the same guy. So telling everyone you're going to knock them out, and then going into, 6 decisions in a row now? Scores a knockdown every time, power's still there. The problem is the pace and the ability to carry on and push. That's the real difference, and that comes with age. He's 34 going on 45 at this, as far as I'm concerned. He's got a ton of fights, been around for a long time, doesn't have that same desire, the same drive to take the chances against these younger, bigger guys, because he is fighting younger, bigger guys. So you got to keep that in mind as well.
When he fought Canelo and he was like standing right in front of Canelo and Canelo's just whiffing, it was a life lesson. And then you look at how good Canelo's head movement got after that fight when he realized it. I mean, my God, when he fought Danny Jacobs and Canelo's just standing right in front of him, bobbing and weaving. That's all what he learned from fighting Floyd.
Ahead of his next bout with Terence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez's most recent training video has been making headlines in the boxing community. Canelo's meticulous preparation and unshakable commitment are evident in the video. Canelo uses intense strength and conditioning exercises to showcase his explosive power. And when he performs, lightning, his quickness and accuracy are evident. The video demonstrates his focus on honing his skills through numerous hours spent working the MS with his trainers and pounding the heavy bag in shadow boxing, as well as his quick combos and deft movement.
Fíjate, pam, 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 hun, 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 pam, Gancho. Hun, 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 Digo, eso. Eso.
Fans and commentators alike are excited to see how Canelo's meticulous preparation will translate in the ring against the tough Crawford. And his dedication to his craft is clear as he prepares for one of the most anticipated bouts in boxing history. It's obvious that Canelo wants to give it his all throughout the fight, and his preparation videos have further raised the stakes for this titanic battle. In the super middleweight level, Canelo's power stands out, making him a dominant force. He has an impressive record, having defeated some of the sport's finest competitors. His ability to participate in a variety of weight classes also demonstrates his versatility and talent. He is a very dangerous opponent because of his capacity to deliver strong blows and repel oncoming attacks.
I mean, you fought Floyd Mayweather at what? You're 23?
23.
That's so fucking young.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him because, you know, if you beat him, you want to be the best in the world at 23.
What do you think was so impressive about him?
His experience, he's so smart. He have everything in a fighter, a complete fighter. He don't have power in the punches, but when you that kind of fighter, you don't need it.
You think that was the toughest fight you faced?
No.
What do you think?
I think it's tough fights and difficult fights. That was a difficult fight.
Canelo is beating these guys with all 5 layers of defense. Number 1, feet. Number 2, elbows, hands, shoulders, and the mind. This is exactly how both of those guys got to the highest level of boxing supremacy. Canelo Alvarez means to the Mexican fans what Floyd Money Mayweather meant for black people. 50 wins in boxing, no losses, no draws. And follow.
Besides his strength, Canelo's head movement, defense skills, and ability to counterpunch with precision make him a well-rounded fighter. And his experience against elite-level competition has sharpened his ability to react and think in the ring. His agility and ring intelligence set him apart. He has further cemented his position as a top fighter with his latest victory over Edgar Berlanga in the super middleweight division.
I'll say he is the hardest, for sure. One of the fighters that hit very hard was Angulo. You know, he's a Cuban guy, and he punched very hard too. So I'll say both of them are like the same, but, you know, with Canelo, I was just mentally ready for his shots. You know, I already told myself, I know I'm gonna get hit. I know I'm gonna get hit on my chin, but it's, you know, I gotta bite down on my mouthpiece and push. You know, and look what happened in the third round. I got hit with a left hook. I dropped. We'd be practicing in camp the whole time, you know, keeping my right hand to my chin, and I wound up just moving, and he connected right.
Of the world, Mexico versus Puerto Rico, Saul Canelo Alvarez versus the chosen one, Edgar Berlanga.
In a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Joe Rogan discussed his feelings toward the impending bout between Canelo Alvarez and Crawford. When discussing why he thinks Crawford has the advantage over Canelo, Rogan emphasized Crawford's quickness and strategic brilliance as crucial elements that might help him win. Rogan also explained how their opposing styles may clash in the ring, making the fight fascinating. Fans are anxious to see if Crawford can pull off the upset against the formidable Canelo, and Rogan's insight has increased the excitement and suspense around the fight.
No, I'm saying at once.
Right.
I'm saying I started at 135. I'm just saying, like, say if Canelo was the champion at 147 to go up 168.
Right in one jump.
Yeah, in one jump.
It's a big jump too. 21 pounds. It's a lot of weight.
Renowned boxing analyst Dan Raphael has offered his comprehensive analysis of the possible bout between Terence Crawford and Saul Canelo Alvarez. Raphael underlined that because both fighters are pound-for-pound superstars, this bout is among the most awaited in boxing. He emphasized the fight's importance, pointing out that facing a strong opponent like Canelo at the super middleweight level would truly test Crawford's mettle.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. You know, big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. You know, it ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I've not been against Terence Crawford with nobody. You got to show me that you can beat him.
I would say to you that in terms of at least American boxing, or in this side of the world, it's not like Tyson Fury and Joshua in the UK is still a huge fight. It doesn't mean a lot in the United States. Likewise, I don't think Canelo and Crawford is necessarily a huge fight in the UK, but here in the United States, it's probably the biggest fight that you could make of what's out there. He doesn't have a lot of guys in the super middleweight division that are going to be intriguing that much to the public, I don't think, right now. He's made it clear he's not interested to fight Benavidez. The Morrell fight was never even really a thing. Both of them have moved up. They're fighting each other on February 1st.
Although Crawford is a superb boxer, former world champion Demetrius Andrade thinks Canelo has the advantage due to his stature and experience competing at heavier weights. Crawford may find it difficult to match Canelo's strength and agility, according to Andrade. Despite recognizing Crawford's extraordinary abilities, Benitez maintains that Crawford would need to advance 2 weight classes in order to face Canelo, emphasizing the value of respecting weight divisions. In a fictitious bout, Benitez gives Canelo the upper hand, underscoring the challenges of increasing weight. Although a bout between Canelo and Ben Ides, a prominent competitor in the 147-pound class, is considered a potential threat, one has not yet taken place.
I mean, I can't really say nothing about that. If that's what he wants to do, then that's what he's going to do. Canelo is a man that he does anything he wants to do. I don't think really what people say affects him. But I feel like the people, they want to see David Benavidez versus Canelo Alvarez. It's the biggest fight to make happen, and I feel like I'm the biggest threat to him.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
No, look, I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record,
moving up 2 weight classes to compete would be one of Crawford's biggest obstacles. Canelo Crawford previously increased his weight to 154 pounds for his most recent bout, in which he defeated Israel Madou via decision. However, moving up to super middleweight would require him to take on far bigger and more formidable opponents.
You can't look forward past Saturday, but do you feel like a fight like Terence Crawford? I see he wants to fight, he's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
you know, everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's a weight classes for a reason. You know, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and then you never know what happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Just a few weeks ago, you heard what Terence Bud Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, you know, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. You know, he's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just, you know, just like to, you know, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind.
Increased to 154 pounds recently. Moving up to super middleweight to face Canelo would be a significant leap, but Crawford won the BBO interim super welterweight title despite appearing to lack the same power he displayed at 147 lb. The challenges of this transition include adjusting to the increased power and physicality of opponents in the higher weight division, even though Crawford's technique and skill are exceptional. It is still unclear whether Crawford's durability and power will translate to super middleweight.
Be great. That'll be 3 times. If you go 154 and win the belt, that's 3 times super. Then I said, chase super greatness. Come on, Canelo. 160.
Well, if he can get in there with Charlo in like his next 2 fights where he still got age on his side, then maybe go up again. Like if he's trying to chase the greatness. But I mean, he already done something that's never been done. Charlo don't want nothing.
Teddy Atlas muses on the challenges Canelo may have in attempting to reach 160 pounds, which would be the perfect weight for Crawford to compete at. He observes that Canelo would probably be reluctant to drop to 160 pounds, especially at this point in his career.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's a weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened.
Rather than, though he thinks Canelo would be reluctant to accept such terms given his established weight class dominance. At 168 lb, Atlas speculates that the fight might possibly take place at a catchweight of 164 li. The weight issue is central to Atlas's argument because it could affect the fighter's ability to carry out their strategies and maximize their strengths. Atlas also talks on Crawford's adaptability and how, in spite of Canelo's size advantage, it could work to his favor.
Saul, my carnal, how are you? Quick question. I know, as we walk, Canelo, how important is it that you've spoke with Turki Al-Sheikh?
Say again, please.
How important for you is it that you've spoke to Turki Al-Sheikh, and what did you speak about?
Look, I like to work with everybody. You know, I'm a free agent, and I like to work with everybody. And you know, I like to have the doors open.
Would you mind sharing your thoughts on the impending bout between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez? Do you think Crawford can overcome the difficulties of gaining weight to challenge Canelo? Or will Canelo's strength and experience be an advantage? Please leave a comment below with your forecasts, thoughts, and any further information you may have.